Hey, howdy everyone, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. Today I will be utilizing the TDE method of analysis to look for potential setups in the charts. Let's see what we can find. First, if you want to learn more about the TDE method, check out the site. If this video is helpful or you learned something new, please like and subscribe to stay updated with my analysis. Now let's dive into it. I'm going to try and make a quick video here on Ethereum, and boy is it quite the math. A lot of stuff in here. I'm looking out here on the weekly. You count this a couple different ways. I could count it as an impulse. Could try and count this as maybe this is a truncation. We got a 1, 2, 3, something going on here, 4, 5. This could be a good zigzag, and then we got a diagonal coming in. I think you really have to ask yourself what you think is going on here, because it is getting close to a potential that this was a top. If you think this is some 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, we just finished another 3 that cleared the high here. So that could be it. One thing I'm going to look at when we dig down here a little bit is exactly what's going on and where we're going to invalidate that whole scenario here, or confirm the whole scenario. Shallower down in the smaller time frames, but out here, again, it could go a couple ways, and let me know if you've been trading this with straight Elliott Wave on this time frame down. I mean, ask yourself if it's really been the way to go. I think the best way to trade ETH here is not using Elliott Wave. Crazy, right? But I'm thinking Elliott, just looking at this could be a couple different things. I think swift moves up and corrections are still pointing down, and we have the swift move up here. Same thing here for now. We have a swift move up, and we're still okay at the moment, but it's getting close there. I think the actual best way to trade Ethereum here is using other basic TA analysis. And the big one I'm going to look at here is the support and resistances. If we go back here, you can see that it's responding very, very well to support and resistances. It's obvious it's the first thing that kicks you in the face when you look at it here. It's not the, Elliott count. It's not some of the other geometry, even though we could put some geometry on. I think it's more of the support and resistance that we're seeing it being respected, and it's playing off it reliably more so than the Elliott Wave, especially when we dig deeper down into these smaller time frames. Now, as we all know, Ethereum can do its own thing, but it's really just getting dragged up by BTC, who's getting dragged up by ES or NQ, which is being dragged by the dollar index, all that stuff. We're all correlated here, and everything's getting thrown around by other assets that the algos are playing off of. So I think Elliott's going to be a little bit weird in here. Sometimes it looks pretty good. Sometimes it just looks like junk. So again, think about it deep down. If you've been trading pure Elliott Wave, how's that been going for you? I don't trade Elliott just by itself. I use the TDE method, which has a lot more than Elliott. So luckily, I've been able to make some plays off of here, not using Elliott Wave as my highest tier confirmation or confluence. I've been using support and resistances as old school, subjective, quote unquote, it is. Ethereum does it pretty well using those levels. So I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you're a trader if you don't have these lines on your chart. I know it's a lot of lasers and it's not a clean chart, which can make you a pariah. So if you're trying to trade ETH, not just put a count on here for subjectivity, I think the lines on the chart, the laser beams across the chart, are the way to go for now. And we can always incorporate everything else, all of our confluences. We can add Elliott Wave and use its confluences that are built in and baked into that, in addition to algos, geometry, market structure, all that fun stuff. But right now, I think Elliott is the most confusing, and just basic laser beams here or support resistance levels are going to be the key. So right now I've already marked out 2. I'll just keep marking out here on the weekly. So we have some support resistance here. I'll put a laser beam there. Then we have some there as well. Out here on the weekly as well, we have this ascending trend line. And as you can see, we have our EWO here pointing out this is a potential wave 3. It's the largest hump here on the EWO, and then we got a nice swoop down. So this could be an indication that the wave 4 is done here, and then we're moving up for the final wave 5. before a larger degree. And again, it all depends on how you come back and count this. If you think this is a 1 2 1 2 going up, then we still have another 4 to play off of. So at this degree here, at the weekly, I think we have some nice good levels here that we have to keep an eye on. Because as you can see, they've played as support and resistance all through here, all through the past here. Let's see, not right there, but right here, we had something play as support, resistance, support, support, heavy support, and then we got some nice trend line support here as well. Higher up, we got some resistance, support, nothing there, support, support, resistance, and then we broke up and we still haven't tested that, and we're coming back down to it now. So I'm going to put the price levels on here just so we know where we're talking about when we get further down. So I think these are going to be the main ones out here on the weekly, and we're going to work our way down to the daily and the 4 hour and all that stuff. But right now, looks like these are the big bads that we have to keep an eye on and see how price approaches these levels. It's all depending on how these lines or levels are approached. And that could give some clues. Again, nothing's a given, nothing's going to play out every single time. But we're looking for clues as to what is going to happen around these 4 levels right now on the weekly. When we dig down, we're going to find some more levels. But right now, that's what I'm looking at. If I had to put a count on it, I think we can see some similarities on the larger scale here and on the smaller scale at the moment too. So right now we have a swift move up. We have this little consolidation level here. Price went up, came back down, found support on it, and the same thing happened here. We're moving up. And then we have on the smaller time frame, we have this little bit of consolidation here, and we found support at it for now. Is it going to hold? We'll have to find out. We don't know yet, but right now we got some fractal similarities there. We have almost a double top and then a swift move down. In the smaller time frame, we have the same thing. We have a double top. This actually got breached last time. The second move up breached the previous high and then moved swiftly down. But we still have like this flat looking situation over here and the same thing that we have over here. I guess if we want to go further back, we could say this big bump down here is similar to this. But I think the main fractal consideration in the PISC is this consolidation played as support in the past to a larger degree, and now we've done the same thing, and at the smaller degree, we have price respecting and holding that level as support right now. So here it is blown up. This is where we came up, double topped, and then we can see the same thing here at the smaller degree, where we have this consolidation playing as support right now as well. So found consolidation there, price moved up, and then we double topped and moved back down. That's what happened back here as well. Nothing super scientific there, just something that caught the eye. So that's what I'm thinking out here on the weekly. I think there is a chance that if I had to put a count on it, this is still a potential wave 5. This could still be a potential impulse in progress. It's all going to be dependent on how we work our way out of this situation over here. All right, so let's dive down a little bit further into the TA and see what we can see. All right, down here on the daily, taking a look at our levels from the monthly or from the weekly here. So as you can see, we got some wicks up, but we close above all the way along here. So this is a nice good 4,000, nice round number here. A lot of confluences why this would play as resistance or in the future and why it's played in the past. Round numbers are always something to look at. And it looks like down here as well, looks like we're a little bit off. Let's put something more like this, more of an area level. So I'll do one of these here. You can see that the 35 level, this level might be a little bit off here, these numbers, but the 3,500 level is playing as resistance and has played as support in the past. So this is going to be a huge level here. That's going to be the first level I want to see taken out by the bulls before I'm confident that we're going to see some further up. Something that's flipped from resistance to support or support to resistance, a flip stands out to me at least. So this is going to be the primary level right now that the bulls have to beat. But some other levels that I'm watching right now as well is going to be down here, obviously, the 2,800. This is going to be huge down here. We got a big old gap here. So this is a nice area level to keep an eye on as well. You can see that it's played as support so many times back here. Dumped down, played as resistance, and now it popped back up. So that's the next bigger area to watch. I think 25, what is it, 2800 area. See it's played as both ways. So this is going to be the bigger levels I'm going to be watching if price gets down there to see if we get a reaction. And then if we go closer up, we can see all these wicks and all this buying power here. And then we got a little bit of a reaction there. Nothing too crazy, but I am going to put a line on there as well because that's the closer level I'm going to be watching here on the 4 hour. And we got it. We nailed it pretty good there. So 3,000 area is going to be the next one. So if you're not seeing the trend here, 4,000, 3,500, 3,000, this is going to be the localized support and resistance area we're going to watch. So now that we have those, I guess we can look at this a little bit, see if we can find anything else on top of this. We had the double top here, so someone went up there. We're either building liquidity or grabbed liquidity and we're good to go. We haven't blasted up and surpassed it yet. If we do come up to the 4,000 and we're done retracing here, eventually when we come back up to the 4,000 area, this is going to be another level. I'm going to watch for a flip. So if it comes up, I'm going to be looking for a correction either to the level or above it for a continuation. Hopefully that's sooner than later, but that's going to be something I'm watching for in the future as well. I think the same thing goes for the Elliott down here. It's still a little bit messy. I think we have a nice clean zigzag here, but then what is it attached to? Is this the 2? Can we all agree that this is the 2? And then we have this move here. So is this some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? The EWO moves with that a little bit. We don't quite get the retrace there. So it is a possibility that this could be some wave 3 here, and then we're working on the 4. Again, going back to the EWO, we did dip down below the 0 line, which I like to look for in a wave 4. And our biggest move up was in the wave 3, and that's where we can see the biggest peaks here on the EWO. We got some divergences going on as well. So again, this could have played, as you see on the RSI down here, got a little bit of divergence there between the peaks up here. So that could add to that, this being a wave 5 at some degree. But again, if we dig down in there, nothing in there is super ideal. This isn't laid out textbook by any means. So playing as Elliott Wave, I mean, I can see this definitely as a zigzag. I think back before the blast off. So from there, again, we could make this a 1, 2, 3, and then we're doing the 4 right now and going up for the 5. That would be my primary if we can hold some levels here, and I'll go over that. But for right now, I think this is a good impulse down to ABC, and that this is move up here is either an ABC or it's some impulsive move up, and we're going to have to see some pivots hold and or break before we know for sure which it is. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. That's basically all I'm watching on the daily, and I just saw one other level I wanted to pull out here, and it'll probably play more into the 4 hour, but I'll just mark it out right now. We can see here support, there was resistance, turned support, still holding that support. Over here, same thing. Support resistances have been playing quite well here on Ethereum. So using the support and resistance and then adding Elliott on top of that might be the best way to go here. Depending on you, not financial advice, not charting analysis advice or anything, but that's what I'm looking at because it's been playing a lot more reliable than the Elliott Wave has, in my opinion. So again, if this is some wave 4, I think we're hitting pretty good in a spot where we would want to see a wave 4. Right now we have this bit of consolidation here that's playing as support, and we're in the area of the 50% off of this too. Potential flat here, and in flats, we really want to see the wave C be the most swift move down. Since we have a swift move down, we always have to consider the other options here, which is that this is the start of something. Instead of the end of something as a wave C of a flat, this is the start of something. Hopefully it's the start of a wave A. If it is the start of something, if it's the start of a wave 1, obviously you know where we're going with that. But right now, I think there is a possibility because of the double top here. Unfortunately, there is a way we can count this as an impulse up. So right now, I think the PA is telling us that we have to keep an open mind and that this swift move could play as a pretty good anchor. And that's what I'm going to be using as an anchor here. Again, this line here is going to be the primary level that bulls have to break and flip to make me feel like we're getting a little bit more of a bullish stance. because right now this is looking pretty bearish. On the other side, right now I'm looking for this level to hold. This, we identified this on the larger time frame. Right now this is at 32, so 3200 would be the next level I'm watching to see how we break that. So it has played as support and resistance. This is the most recent support that we have, and if this move up is some motive wave, we're going to want to hold this pivot here to see continuation up. Diving down even deeper here, let's go to the 1 hour, and then that'll be it. So right now on the 1 hour, I'm seeing a motive move down. Because of this swift move up, there's always a possibility that we're dealing with A up and then we're doing a sideways B here, or that's some 1-2. If we can make this into a nice looking impulse, which would put us down here again, maybe sweep the low here and then come back up, I think we would be a good idea to start looking for C3 move up here. So again, if we come down, I think this would be a nice setup here to look potentially for a pivot there and a move to the upward direction. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can put this 5 different ways and it's going to work out one way or another no matter what. But for right now, I think at this level, it looks like it wants to give us one more low, which would be acceptable because we really want to see clarity in this whole move to add some confidence to what we think is going on. I really would like to see this finish as an impulse down here, and then we can play it from there and argue whether we're going to head up or if we're going to be just correcting internally for some more downside. So I'd want to see it move down here to 5, and then we move back up, potentially coming back like this correctively, and then a move up back to the high of the range. So I think this would be my next low little degen play here if we get this playing out. If we do end up heading up and it cuts over this level, invalidates an impulse down, I think ideally for me, I'd like to see a wave 4 complete here and we get one more little move down. But that would be the ideal move, I think. One more leg down here. Again, we're not always going to be given an ideal, and we'll have to figure it out later if we don't. But that's what I'm looking for. So I think at the larger picture, to circle back, if this is a flat down, it's not a directional change for further down, we have to hold above 2800 before a proper invalidation area. So I think anything from here, a breakdown from here, throws that into question. But 3,000 is going to be the final mark. So we could even finish up here. Let's say this is a 1-2 and we head down for this and we test there and head back up and start flipping these back. I wouldn't mind that too much. But anything below 3,000, if we do a break and not just a breach, I think we're going to have some further downside and some issues here. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully this holds out above here. If we have an impulse down, it could go a couple ways. It all depends on what you think this is. If we have an ABC completion up and this level was just too hard to break through and we're done and it's game over and we're headed down, then I think a nice impulse is going to work out to both of our benefits, both the bears and the bulls, because as soon as we get a 5-wave move down, we're always looking for a retracement back up. So that's something the bulls and the bears can both be looking for, is this move back up. If we sweep this low, I think, again, if all things are going to play out ideal here, after that move up, we look for the swift move up, and then we can look for the correction down for a C3 wave move up. All right, for the bull hopium count, I think the bulls are hoping this is a 1-2, 1-2 going up. So this could be the second 2 right here, and that we're going to start our move up here. For that to play out, I guess holding this as a 3-wave move down would be the most ideal. We'd have to count this as some diagonal, it looks like. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks pretty messy in there. So first clue is going to be we sweep this here. We finish this move down as a 3-wave move down. And then we start moving, putting an impulse up and corrections up. So again, right now, if this finishes like this, we cut this off invalidation point right there. We start correcting down to this area. I think that's a good spot to look for a C3 move up if that plays out ideally. I know I went quick. So if you have any questions, concerns, other ideas, let me know. But with all that being said, trade safe, trade clarity. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Bye.